Welcome to episode 19 of The Buck Stops Here, my Football Manager Mobile 2018 save with Telford United. In this episode, we're going to be reviewing the month of December. The games have been coming thick and fast, so let's get straight to it. If we go back, so we can see that we started the month with a 0-0 draw at Woking, followed up with successive 4-0 wins, the first at home against Halifax, the second away at Grimsby. We then had a 1-1 draw against Barrow in the FA Trophy, followed up with a 4-1 win in the replay, before beating Tranmere 5-1 and two 4-0 wins away at Torquay and Boreham Wood respectively. So let's kick off with the Woking game. As you can see, we were in complete control. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. 17 shots to their 4, but unfortunately, despite all those shots, we only had one on target. Which goes a long way, I think, to explain the result. Even worse, we had two clear-cut chances, so that shows just how poor our finishing was. Stephen Hewitt, our man of the match. So we had plenty of 8s, plenty of 7s, but just not enough to find a way past Woking. We bounced back 3 days later with a home game against Halifax, 4-0 win. John Marsden opened scoring in the 24th minute. He got his second from the penalty spot in the 61st, and then 2 goals in 6 minutes from Kenji Gori in the 74th and 80th minute were enough to give us a very comprehensive win, as the stats show. Completely in control again. 16 shots there, 8 shots on target, and 4 found the back of the net this time. Man of the match went to Kenji Gori for his 2 goals, also a rating of 10 for John Marsden, but a good showing throughout, I think it's fairly safe to say. As we can see here, so plenty of 7s for us, with the 2 players rated at 10, really making the difference. Moving on, it was a trip up to Grimsby, again a 4-0 win. Joe Hewitt with a hat-trick. It took him 11 minutes, 18th, 27th and 29th. Particularly notable, he got his second goal. Grimsby kicked off. He went and won the ball back, went into their area and got his hat-trick goal. John Marsden adding the 4th in the 33rd minute, so a 4-goal blitz in 15 minutes, enough to give us the points. Better side throughout. After that, it was just sort of seeing time out, really. Man of the match, perhaps unsurprisingly, Joe Hewitt for his hat-trick, but lots of 8s in there for us, so a very strong showing. It was a heavily changed side that took on Barrow in the FA Trophy. 11 changes, as I tend to do in the cup competitions. Jake Andrews scored in the 57th minute. Barrow did have a goal disallowed in the 5th minute. So it looks as though we're going to record a 1-0 win, but in the 2nd minute stoppage time, Asa Hall fired home for Barrow. We had half an hour of extra time, but it stayed at 1-1, so it was off to a replay. Stats show it was a fairly close match, I would agree, and the ratings, we had a fair few players with 8, but couldn't just quite get the job done first time of asking. So it was a midweek trip to Barrow for the replay, and a much better result for us. So got off to a good start. Matthew Barnes-Homer in the 4th minute. Stephen Boyd put us 2 up with his first goal for the club 11 minutes in. Thierry Adol pulled one back for Barrow. Matthew Barnes-Homer then put us 3-1 up in the 61st minute. 4 minutes later, it looks like Barrow had pulled one back. Adi Yusuf, but it was ruled out for offside. And Matthew Barnes-Homer in the 78th minute put the result beyond doubt from the penalty spot to complete his hat-trick. We did, however, lose Jody Jones to injury 4 minutes before half-time. Stats show pretty good game for us. Better of the sides. Man of the match, perhaps unsurprisingly, Matthew Barnes-Homer for his hat-trick. But as we can see, fair few 8s and 9 and a 10 dotted around, so good showing there from the lads. After that, it was back to the league. At this point, we were second, taking on tops of the table Tranmere, and what a comprehensive win. Kenji Gori, 2 early goals for the 5th and 21st minute. Elliot Rocker pulled one back with an absolute stunner from 25-30 yards. Then Joe Hewitt in the 50th, 60th minute sort of put the result beyond all doubt, putting us 4-1 up. Jacob Blythe came on as a substitute, and his first touch of the ball was to give us a 5-1 win with a header from a corner in the 85th minute. Let's take a look at the ratings. Man of the match going to Kenji Gori for his 2 goals. Also a rating of 10 for Joe Hewitt. But sort of 7's pretty much standard throughout, at least, with the exception of John Marsden, who got a 6, and the subs. Very pleased with that result. Then, over the Christmas period, we played top of the table. It was then playing the team who were in 3rd, Torquay, and we were travelling down to Torquay. Oops, that's a sneak peek at Boreham Wood. So, again, an absolutely comprehensive victory here. 17 shots to their 1, 7 on target. Kenji Gori in the 44th and in stoppage time in the first half. He completed his hat-trick in the 65th minute. And completing the rout, Stephen Arthurworry, perhaps one of the players less likely to score, but always good to see players popping up with goals. Man of the match, well, Kenji Gori, perhaps unsurprisingly, bearing in mind he's got a hat-trick. Minimums of 7s for us, most of Torquay players getting a rating of 6, so an excellent result. And then took on Boreham Wood, who are down in 21st. Travelled there, and again a 4-0 win. John Marsden opened the scoring in the 10th minute. Kenji Gori doubling the lead in the 19th minute. They lost Bruno Andrade, their leading striker, to injury on half-time. Joe Hewitt thought he'd scored in the 50th minute, but he got flagged for offside. However, no such problem in the 55th minute to make it 3-0, and then Jacob Blythe, as a substitute, finished off the scoring in the 75th minute. As we can see, plenty of 9s, 8s, and 7s for us. Universally, pretty much 6s for Boreham Wood. John Marsden, man of the match. On the subs as well, so Jacob Blythe made an impact, perhaps not too much time for the others. So let's take a look at the league, and that has put us top. We're now top by 4 points. Certainly been a very good Christmas period for us. Let's just take a look at the awards as well. So I won Manager of the Month for December with Jimmy Dunn of Chester, winning both Player of the Month and Young Player of the Month. He's had a good month, to be fair, but has it been as good as Kenji Gori's? I personally don't think so, but there we go. So episode 20, we'll be taking a look at the month of January, see if we can stay top. We take on Gateshead, Eastleigh, Solihull Moors, and Hampton and Richmond. And we've also got Eastleigh in the FA Trophy as well. Looking forward to seeing you for episode 20 of The Buck Stops Here.